Welcome, Natalie. Thank you so much for your time today to give us this short interview on your experience with Coaching Minds. I know you're super busy, so I really appreciate you being here and answer a couple of questions that I have around this. So thank you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I'm happy to come anytime and talk about Coaching Minds.
Excellent. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. And just to get us started, and just for the benefit of the audience, anybody that's watching this, I'd like to know a little bit more about what it was that attracted you to coaching in the first place.
Yes. So my background is psychology based, so in education and in general work and doing things, and a lot in substance use, a lot in prison. So it's meeting a lot of people, working with people on how they think, working on like how do we change behaviors and all of the things mixed in with that. And I find that really interesting. And then people kept talking about this word coaching, and I was like, what is this? What is this thing that people keep talking about? And I realized that I did bits of it, but not necessarily to the degree of doing pure coaching. So it was more mixed in with mentoring and bits of training. So yeah, I just, from being interested in psychology, particularly social psychology and how we think and behave, and like CBT that I'd done before, I just felt like this is going to be such a beautiful thing to add in to my skills and move forward with.
No, amazing. And I feel like there's lots of people out there right now that's, what is this coaching stuff? They're seeing it plastered across social media everywhere. And yeah, I think it's sparked up a lot of curiosity in people. So it's really wonderful. It's really wonderful you've got that psychology background, a bit of CBT, a lot of stuff that's transferable into coaching, but in a very, very different way. So thank you for sharing that, Natalie. And my next question that I have for you is, you came across this interest, this desire to become a coach or to integrate coaching into your work. What was it that attracted you to Coaching Minds in particular?
Yeah, do you know what? Because I'd started doing coaching and I wasn't accredited at the time. And I could see a lot of things that went on which did not align with my values and what I'm interested in, like the things that feel good to me. There's a lot of misleading information. So it felt really important to me to not be one of those people and to be accredited and to be able to say, I've actually done my due diligence and actually gone and done it. And made sure that I'm following best practices and I do align with bodies, and I'm not just here making stuff up and reading some books and throwing it back out and charging you top dollar for it. So that was really important to me. So I started looking around, and I'll be honest, you looked around and it was so expensive to do a course. And I'm thinking, I haven't got thousands of pounds in my bank account right now. So I started looking. And then I landed on Coaching Minds, and I'll be honest, Paul, I had to read it multiple times. I thought, well, this is too good to be true. There must be, I'm looking for the small print or something. And I remember messaging you and saying, can I just clarify?
Yeah,
when I join, do I get the level 5 included and I can just do it? Because it felt too good. And it really aligned with me, because in my coaching, people would always say to me, I would get business strategies or business coaches, and they'd be like, charge more. I'm like, I don't want to charge more. I want to reach the people who need me, and I think that just really hit with me, that priority of actually you could go out and give everything that you have and charge so much more for it. But the idea is the community and the actual working to change the coaching industry so that actually people getting accredited and people going out there has accredited coaches who know what they're doing and they have the ethics and they're doing it properly. So I was just straight in, happy days. It worked with me with doing things at my own pace. So I could do it at my own pace and obviously send out the live elements of it and send in to work with it. But it was just, the structure, the community, the accessibility was just, it felt too good to be true. But I'm in now and I can tell you that it actually is real.
Thank you for that, Natalie, because we do get that a lot. A lot of people think, what's the catch here? What's the small print? But generally, we're just on a mission to make coaching affordable and accessible. Yeah. And when we did our research before we set up Coaching Minds as an established organization, one of the things we looked at was why aren't people choosing certification, accreditation, the professional route? There's lots of people call themselves coaches out there that aren't coaches, but one of the biggest reasons they're doing that is because it's a minimum of £4,000 to £10,000 to do a course in accreditation. There's a barrier there So how do we remove that barrier, and how do we encourage people to do things the right way and look at giving a lower cost model to coaching? And we allow people to experience it as well. So it's not a contract that they join. They can pay the first month subscription of £32 a month. And if it's not for them, if it doesn't connect with them, off they go. They can go find another school. So that's the purpose why we do that. And thank you for sharing that, because I do have a lot of conversations. Is this true? Does it really have this? And because there's a lot of scams out there as well, there's a lot of people doing things the wrong way, that we have to build this trust. And it's going to take time for us to build this trust. But thank you for sharing what you shared. I really appreciate it. And now that you're on the program, what is it that you enjoy most about what we do here at Coaching Minds?
Oh, aside from everything I've already said, I really enjoy the support at all levels. So obviously you and obviously Adele, but everyone who's in there, like, it's such a community. Like, I think in the coaching world, it can sometimes be a little bit toxic. There can be a lot of, to put me up there, I need to pull someone else down. And there can be this real belief of, oh, well, I'm better than them, like this hierarchy, and that I do not like that at all. And inside Coaching Minds, it's so supportive. It's everyone's got your back. Like, there's no such thing as a silly question. Everyone's in there learning and growing, and it's such a lovely place to be. I honestly can't speak highly enough of it. I just enjoy being in there, being in the mix, being part of it.
No, thank you for that, Natalie. Thank you for the kind words, and the credit goes to our coaches. It's a lot of that support, a lot of that community is driven by you yourself, Natalie, and the coaches that are getting involved in there. Like, I go in and I love the collaboration between our coaches, not just in the sessions and the way they support each other in the sessions. I know they're connecting outside of sessions, they're messaging and calling people in the community as well. I do love and hopefully we continue to nurture that, and that's what we really want to do, is encourage. Collaboration is a very important currency in our modern day world, and I think the more we come together to help each other succeed, the more successful we're going to be as coaches, and I love to see that. So thank you for sharing that, Natalie, and thank you for all you contribute and for being part of that community and giving to us at Coaching Minds as well.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay, thank you. And next question that I have, so last question about Coaching Minds, then I want to ask you a question about yourself, and you can answer this honestly. I haven't had a no yet, so you could be my first. But would you recommend us to a friend? And if so, why or why not?
Do you know what? I honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to bring an apple to the teacher. I talk about it all the time. So within the organisation that I work for, not everyone is accredited, and I'm constantly bleeping on. And I think there's been at least four people who've already joined and come into it because they wanted to get level 5. And like we said, it was too expensive. And maybe work weren't paying for it. So they've come and they've joined, or thrown back to doing it that way. And I'm actually, like, at the moment trying to, contemplating like how can we kind of align that in with our organisation, so actually we can bring everyone in and get them accredited, but use Coaching Minds to do it. So yeah, because it's just, I'm a big fan of everything that I've already said, and also I think it's really important that when people are doing that, when people are looking after people and doing things in a way with us, like integrity and values that I align with, I am all here for doing as much as I can to feed into that system, to support it. So 100%, I'm doing it.
Excellent. Thank you for all that work, Nat, because the coaches that have come in have actually kept that quiet. And we need to give you some commission, some compensation.
Well, I'm going to tell them, they listen.
Yeah. So I had no idea that was actually going on. So thank you for the referrals and for bringing people in. It's really
it's the least I can do. It's not done to get any kind of credit for it. It's done because I just think it's really important.
No, I appreciate that, and that's probably why it's gone kind of under the radar. And this is the first time I'm hearing of this. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Really great. Thank you. And my final question for today is just to stay away from Coaching Minds, just so those that are watching this interview can know a little bit more about you and where you're taking your coaching. Is what are your current goals with regards to your coaching practice?
So do you know what? I think if I'm thinking about my big goal, it probably aligns very much with Coaching Minds. My big goal within my coaching, so I focus on, in one of my hats will be around neurodiversity as an ADHD myself, and then the other one is around body image, and that comes from my own personal struggles and things related to that. And my big overarching goal, Paul, is basically just to ensure that the people who need support get it. You know, I'm not here to charge thousands of pounds. I'm not here. I would much rather help a lot of people than make lots of money. And I know sometimes people say, "Oh yeah, well that's what everyone says," but I think it's really true. And I think those people who get into coaching, and maybe the ones who actually go on to bother getting accredited, are coming from a place of, I actually want to help. I think a lot of people get into coaching because they think, "Oh look, you can make loads of money." I'm not about that. I want people to be aware. I want people to accept themselves. I want to empower people. And I basically want people to not survive and to thrive in whatever way that looks like for them. I'm here for it, basically. Yeah.
No, and that's really wonderful, Natalie. And you say that a lot of people say I'm in it for the impact and not for the money, but that's not actually true. If you look at a lot of sales pitches, especially organizations that are trying to pull in coaches, they're focused on this. It's $1 billion industry. You can charge up to $70 to $150 an hour, and people are getting pulled into industry for what I believe, and there's no such thing as a right or wrong value, but that's not aligned with me, for the cash, because they think they can make more money than they do in their 9 to 5. And I really love that you're aligned with the values here in terms of the impact that we want to make and that we want to give to people. And our mission is that coaching is powerful. It's really powerful. It can really help people change their perspectives, change their way of thinking, motivate themselves. But it has been for years too expensive for those that need it to get access to it. And thank you for being part of our mission and filtering that into your coaching practice to allow people that really need coaching to get that access. It really means a lot. So thank you, Natalie.
No, it's my pleasure. And I know when I was looking around to get accredited, there were particular companies, no name names, who you would get on a call to talk about it, and then the pressure to invest was astounding. I remember saying, I can't afford that at the moment, and literally the questions were, do you not have credit cards? Is there no way you can borrow the money off? I was like, I can't afford it. They're like, oh well, if it was important to you, would. And I thought, how toxic. How toxic. And so I am so, like, anything that is the opposite of that, I'm in with. Because it's just, it can be a bit dog eat dog, and that's not the point of it.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that. It's not to label organizations or put names on names, but there is a little bit of the training behind marketing can be very manipulative to try and push and put pressure on you. There's theories around, putting pressure on you, time constraints that you need to invest now, and you're going to lose this offer, all this sort of stuff they're playing on and this, you study psychology yourself, but there's a lot of people playing psychology rather than just being honest and transparent, having an honest mission to inspire people. This is very different. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I had we had the business coaches once. She's like, Natalie, what are you doing? She said, you're supposed to be. But people would say, well, I don't think it's the right time for right now. And I'd like, we talk about it. And I go, right, no worries. You know where I am. You know where I am if you want me. Enjoy your weekend, kind of thing. She's like, no, Natalie, stop. Like, there's never a good. I'm like, listen, I'm not pushy. I'm not I'm not here to push anyone to do anything. It's got to be the right time, and it's got to feel good.
Yeah. And everything's got to be led by the client as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for sharing everything today. Thank you for your kind words about Coaching Minds. Thank you for what you're doing for your own coaching practice, and thank you for everything that you continue to do at Coaching Minds. I really, really appreciate it, and I appreciate the time today. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you to every part of it.
Thank you.